Hi, I'm Sharmini. I've been in New York City for 20 years. That's a big part of my life and who I am. If there's anything that I'm known for, particularly in motion, is my love for travel. Pretty active, hiking, scuba diving, you name it. I got introduced to motion via my workplace, which is Insight Partners. We have a great benefit program. The past 20 years or so, I've been going for massages every month, but I feel like that's more recovery and less preventative. And what motion introduced to me is through all these machines doing all the scans is actual numbers behind my wellness. So whether that's the alignment, my muscle tightness, my oxygen consumption, water levels. So I think it's very data driven, which is one thing that I love. The next thing is that motion was able to tell me that it's not just about muscle tightness and so on, but I need to realign my posture, strengthen in certain ways so that I can prevent those from happening. The best part is that motion is above and beyond those massages. I've gone more into preventative care, which is something I never thought about, which motion actually introduced me to, and I've been loving it. It's been about a year and a half now, and I can really see the results now. One of the big things, a game changer for me, was this summer I had a pretty bad fall in Central Park. My entire body weight fell on my ankle. I also had picnic chairs on my back in the backpack, so it was my body weight plus additional body weight. I fell on my ankle and injured my ankle. As you can imagine, with healthcare, particularly in New York, it took forever to get an appointment, but my medical practice suggested that I at least get an x-ray done. And of course, the prognosis was just soft tissue injury. They didn't actually see anything in the x-ray from my bone. A month later, I finally got an appointment at HSS, and I found out I actually had a hairline fracture in my bone. But the big thing that motion was able to help me with was treating my soft tissue injury. So my torn ligament and all the tendons that had been affected and had scarring, they were able to quickly, and when I say quickly, I mean quickly, overnight. I remember that week because I was about to travel 2.5 weeks later, and I was about to cancel my travel plans because it was all hiking in Iceland and Faroe Islands. So I was pretty upset, but Josh had me come in here and Jasmine worked on me the very next day. I hobbled in, I couldn't put my foot down, I couldn't even bear weight. Within one session, I could bear weight. I could actually put my foot down and put a little bit of my weight on it. Within the second session, I came in and I couldn't walk, I could walk. I could actually remove my boot and put on my sneakers and walk with the walking stick. By the third session, I could finally use the staircase. So I'm telling you, it was a game changer, because I know these things take a long time typically. And I'd been doing these sessions, and all of a sudden, overnight, 3 sessions, I could go from not putting my foot down on the ground all the way to traveling 2.5 weeks later and hiking. So it was just insane. When I tell people about it, they can't believe it. They focus on, in my case in particular, it was 2 things. It was one, strengthening the muscles that aren't, some muscles were overcompensating and some muscles were not working enough. So it's to get that balance so that I had the right posture, the right physique, the right form to prevent me from getting to that same situation where I was before. My second diagnosis was I've always had tightness around my neck and shoulder area, and for the first time in my life, someone finally told me the reason for that is my breathing technique. It's not breathing from my diaphragm, from my stomach. I'm breathing up here in this area. So that was a huge game changer. It's work in progress. It takes months, years, if not, to correct. But I think those 2 combinations of strength training and the correct breathing technique is all about that preventative care, so that I have less recovery to do hopefully over time, and I'm trying to prevent those symptoms from happening again. One of the biggest things as part of my ankle injury that was super helpful is that I was asked to purchase an ankle brace, a foot brace, by my doctor, by my podiatrist. But I was never taught. He just sent me a photo of what to buy, and I was never taught how to use it. So one thing that Jasmine really helped me on post-treatment is how to use my ankle brace so that it's not injuring me further. The second thing is Jasmine showed me how to wrap my foot so that I'm isolating certain muscles from being used so that they can just have a longer recovery period, particularly because my second vacation after the injury was focused on scuba diving and I couldn't necessarily wear the brace, so at least I could wrap my foot and still wear my scuba diving gear. And the last thing that I've been focused on is having me do exercises to release that area, even though I was traveling and didn't have access to all this great equipment and talent over here at MOCEAN. So I was able to self-prescribe myself some exercises to release those areas, which I can't imagine anyone else doing. Like, certainly doctors don't do that over here. It's only folks who are focused in the PT area that would do that. But this is not just PT, it's like above and beyond PT. I'm constantly telling friends, family, colleagues about MOCEAN, encouraging them to come here because our lives can get really busy, it can be really stressful, it can be, for me, physical as well. I cycle everywhere, I walk everywhere, all my trips are extremely adventurous, so our bodies take a toll, and I've always been a big promoter of wellness, and now I have something really tangible to tell people about, that come to MOCEAN and they'll take care of it for you. Now I don't need to repeat myself. I can just send this video out to all my friends, family and colleagues. I think it'll be great.